Welcome to the Nintendo Newscast. Introducing your hosts, Lauren and Amiibo Jason.
Good evening, Nintendo fans. Welcome to episode 7, lucky number 7 of the Nintendo Newscast. I am here again, one of your hosts, Amiibo Jason, always here for you to give you the latest Nintendo news. I'm here with my partner in crime. I usually say my number 2.
Yes,
but
you do.
I shouldn't say that anymore. You
No.
know, we're equals. You're my number 1.
Thank you. I think back in the day, back when we first started this newscast together,
Yeah.
and I joined the team, I think I was your number 1, and then I was demoted for some reason.
You were demoted.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I am Lauren, also known as Happily Candied, your number 1.
Number 1.
Yes. Actually, we are equals, so that would be...
Hot dog.
Yeah.
It's a new world, man.
It is, completely.
Co-hosts.
Yes.
Yeah. It only took 30 some episodes of newscasts to do that?
Yeah.
Well,
That
you
sounds
did
about
it.
right.
You
That
made
sounds-
it.
Wow. This is some type of Happily Candied celebration, if you didn't know.
Let's go back all the way, though, to
Yes.
the beginning of the Amiibo Newscast. And you were absent, by the way. It was just me
It's true.
and
it's
8-bit
true.
Eric.
8-bit Eric. Though he was on 2 episodes of yours.
No, he was
wasn't
on 1.
He was on 1, but he
P2, the Amiibo Hunter, was on
That's-
several
That's what I'm
episodes.
thinking of. Because you split it. You just split it.
I did.
think. Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
But either way, here we are. It's Thursday,
It is.
June
Thursday.
2nd, 2016. And we have some cool news. We actually delayed our newscast intentionally, by the way. We're going to say that.
Kind of.
Intentionally.
On record right there.
Because we knew we were going to get a decent Pokemon announcement, and we did, which is exciting. I'm very excited. You might know that, and I get excited from time to time.
Are you very, very excited?
I'm extremely excited. We knew a couple weeks back that we were going to be getting some Pokemon Sun and Moon news.
Yep.
And we did.
Yes.
It was not what I thought it was going to be. It was a little bit what I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to see the evolutions of the starters, but we didn't. But we're going to get into that later into the episode. But that's why we were on hiatus for those few days.
Just a couple days.
Just a couple days.
Not too bad.
We have gone weeks without newscasts.
Yes, so
this is pretty good.
we're happy with ourselves.
It's very good.
Be happy for
overall.
us.
So, all right. So before we get too far into the show, I do want to mention our Patreon, and we're going to make this super brief. Super brief. I promise.
Super.
We had our first successful month of Patreon, which was much cooler than I thought it would be. It was very neat. I had a great time with Patreon, by the way.
It was nerve-wracking at times.
It was.
Because I kept wondering, how many people are going to be interested in supporting us, how many people believe in us, but I was overwhelmed.
They care. They believe.
I was overwhelmed with the number of people who care, and they really believe in everything that we do, and they want to see more from us. They know that we have really great plans in store for Nintendo Inquirer.
And they wanted that promo box.
Yes, I think
that
that's
sweet promo box.
Probably it.
The promo box is cool, by the way.
Yes.
We had 20 the first month. Now we have 30, and we have 10 more available for you. So if anybody wants a promo box, head over to our Patreon page. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put the description below.
Yes.
You can find it there.
Yes.
Between you and me. It's our secret.
It's totally secretive, and that's going to want to bring people in even more.
Yeah, it's our secret. I know it's counterproductive to maybe say it live on a podcast.
Somewhat.
If it's our secret,
Somewhat.
but we are actually on Patreon.
I'll let this slide for now.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
But I want to point out we have 3 show sponsors. We actually have 2 folks that are going to be kind of sponsoring segments from this point on, which is going to be really fun.
Yeah.
But let's list them off here. Do you want to read off our
Yes.
fantastic Patreons?
We have Stephen Paterno.
Steven!
Thank you, Stephen.
Awesome. Thank you.
We also have Dennis Gribben.
Dennis Gribben. I
Thank
hope we're
you.
pronouncing that name right. I
Yes.
think that's right.
Yes. Thank you, Dennis. And last but not least, we have Bobby Arredondo. I believe that's pronounced correctly.
I think we're good.
But please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, and I will get it right next time.
So thank you to our sponsors and our executive producers on our podcast. We're going to be reaching out to you starting on next episode, and we're going to let you sponsor segments, which is going to be super fun. You picked segment. we're going to get it set up. But we're actually having a Skype call with our founders. We're calling our little founders group here, starting next week.
I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be the first of its kind, and I think we're just going to have fun with it.
Yep.
Yeah, so...
That's
exciting
our Patreon
stuff.
thing.
Exciting stuff.
That's our Patreon lowdown.
Yeah.
So we're not going to talk about it for the rest of the podcast?
No, that's it.
We're
that's
done.
it, guys.
Shameless self-promotion is over.
But much needed self-promotion.
Can you shamelessly plug something on your own podcast? Is that possible?
That's what a podcast is partially for. So
I suppose.
I don't believe it has anything to do with shame
There
at
you go.
all.
All right, then. Let's get to the Nintendo news, shall we?
We shall. We have
ready?
some good stuff. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about shoes. Shoes.
Shoes.
Got to get some shoes.
Shoes.
All right, so shoes are fun. We've talked about this in the past before too. I actually did a video about this.
Yeah.
We knew that Vans and Nintendo were going to be partnering up to deliver these amazing Nintendo shoes. And we had no idea when they were coming out. I thought they were going to be coming out maybe in summer.
Yep.
But we got confirmation that they're going to be out tomorrow. I don't know when this podcast is going up. Probably tomorrow anyway. So maybe even today. But for the folks at home, Friday, June 3rd,
Yeah.
is when they are going up for sale officially.
So we got that information pretty late in the game. I mean,
yeah.
it came out to the whole world pretty late in the game. Like you said,
Yesterday.
we found about this, was it last week?
About when the shoes were coming out?
Not when the shoes are coming up, but about the shoes in general. And I really thought, like you said, it was going to be much farther down in
We've
summer.
known about a month now.
Yeah.
Right, about a month.
It's been a while. I don't even think it's been a month, but it's been at least over a week, maybe 2 weeks or so.
So the weird thing is I'm actually surprised they gave us such short notice
Yeah.
that these things were going to be in stores so quickly.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they're going to sell out. I'm guessing with how rabid Nintendo fans are, some styles are going to sell out.
That's exactly what my thought was. I'm pretty sure that people expressed very specific favorites,
Yeah.
and they all lean towards the same favorites for good reason. A lot of the styles and designs tend to stick out compared to others.
So I'm going to get a couple pairs.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the Zelda moccasins.
Yes,
I think
I
they're
knew
just
that
called
one.
slip-ons,
Okay.
but, I'm a Zelda fan. I got my Zelda shirt on right now. I got the Zelda tattoo. I don't even need to show you anymore. You guys know that I have it.
Yep.
And I'm going to get the 8-bit Super Mario low tops.
Yeah.
The thing that bummed me out the most, I think the shoes that most people used, like in their article headers.
Yeah. Like us.
Yeah,
Like
like
us.
we did.
Yep.
Pretty much every other site did too. It was the high tops with Mario's face on it with all the Nintendo characters in the back. And I got the sad news that those are kids and toddler sizes only.
When I think Vans, I don't think kids. I think adults.
Yeah.
And it's nice that they have options for kids. That's why I'm kind of surprised that these are pretty much the pinnacle of Nintendo
Yeah.
and Vans. That style of shoe was perfect. And then it's just geared towards kids. It's very, very an odd decision.
It's kind of bizarre because all of the other styles seem a little bit more... They're just more pattern oriented.
Yeah.
They're not just like blasting characters in your face. And I'm so used to the Chuck Taylors, the DC Comics Chuck Taylors, and they just have, they're not disguising in any way that these are like kid shoes for adults.
Yeah.
So they have like Superman on it, Batman on it. It's like non-apologetic. They're not even trying to make it seem like, oh, I could, get away with wearing these at a business meeting. You know what you're buying when you get
Yeah.
these shoes. They're man-child shoes. Which is fine.
Why
I'm
not
fine
make
with
the
that.
designs available in both adult and children? Maybe have limited quantities or
Maybe.
something like that. That's what I would have done. I still don't understand the reasoning behind that.
I wanted to see if I could get like the biggest size in the kids
Yeah.
and see if I can squeeze into it, but I found out I can't. My feet are just too darn big.
Too bad you're an adult.
Sad.
Very sad.
But I do have a 3-year-old, so I can live, vicariously through her if I
That's
need
good.
to.
If you need to.
So I'd be like, you're going to wear those shoes.
Oh gosh, poor thing.
I know.
Poor thing.
It's okay. She'll get over it.
Okay.
She'll want the Princess Peach ones.
Really?
There's so many designs, though.
There are a lot of designs.
So I know the big ones, I think the ones that are going to sell out the most, they have the original Nintendo, the NES controller high tops.
Yeah.
I'm very tempted to get those too.
Yeah.
But I have to stop at 2 pairs. I can't go beyond that. I mean, I could, but I can't.
Could, yes.
I shouldn't.
Got to stay within
I might not.
that limiting price range when you want to drop drop money for expensive stuff.
I have no idea what they're going to cost either.
Oh yeah, that's right. We weren't given
No idea.
We weren't given any idea. So,
Going in blind, blank check.
Yes. Oh, that's gonna be fun.
What about you? obviously the internet knows you're a Princess Peach fan.
I'm a huge Princess Peach fan. If I got the Princess Peach shoes, it would be for collection and display purposes mostly.
You wouldn't wear them.
I'm sorry. You know what? It's funny. I love Princess Peach.
Yeah.
And I own a couple Princess Peach related clothing items and accessories.
Yeah.
But I really don't wear her on a regular basis.
Sad.
I was Princess Peach for Halloween.
That's
and
true.
I've had
I was
that.
Link.
Oh my gosh, yes. I've had that costume for years, and it's my I think it's my favorite costume I've ever owned. So I wear it when I can, when it's appropriate, but I really don't wear Princess Peach stuff regularly. Like I said, I love displaying my collections, or I like just even having them in a nice box and appreciating them that way. But it just doesn't fit my normal everyday street style.
Which is you don't wear t-shirts.
No.
And you don't wear fun shoes.
I
Sad
am
all
a big
around.
fan of dresses and skirts.
Sad.
Always have been, always will be.
Then maybe I'll get the Princess Peach shoes and I'll wear them around.
I could go for that.
I could pull them off if I needed to.
I do believe, although you do seem to be lacking pink from your wardrobe.
I have a pink shirt. I got that
Do you
button-down
really?
shirt that's pink.
It's more
It's got pink highlights.
Yes, I was gonna say pink highlights, but it's mostly white
That's true.
with gray and pink.
But I can pull pink off.
Yeah, you can. I won't deny it.
Thank
I won't
you.
deny it.
So there you go, folks. June 3rd, check your local stores. I checked some stores around me. It's not just at Vans stores.
No.
Check wherever Vans are sold, and chances are you can get them.
Yes.
But they are hard street dated. I tried to convince the clerk today to sell me a pair. He was having none of it.
No.
Said, "Get
very
outta here."
firm with it. He did not
So
say that.
this is shenanigans.
Really, is that what he was?
And then he kicked me out. And I
wow,
knocked the
that
display over.
definitely didn't happen.
It did happen.
Okay, we're moving on.
What are we moving on to?
We have so much stuff to talk
We have some things
some
to
stuff,
discuss.
you know.
And I feel like, again, we're bringing back the Amiibo Newscast with this next topic. So we haven't talked about this yet, but
Mm-hmm.
we found out a new game called Monster Hunter Stories is coming out in Japan.
Yes.
Which means it'll probably be heading over to the U.S. sometime like 6 months to a year
I was
after
gonna say
it hits
what,
Japan.
like 2 years maybe. But I feel like
I don't know.
it was a long time for the last Monster Hunter game.
True.
It was a very long time.
But I like to say with the internet, the world is getting smaller.
Yeah.
And with the new Pokemon game, I mean, practically the entire world is getting it at the same time, except for Europe, who's getting it a week later for some reason. That sucks.
That still
We're
breaks
so
my heart.
sorry.
That breaks my heart for Europe.
It does.
Yeah.
However, I think one of the things that might speed the localization for this game is the amiibos that are coming out for it, because we are getting 3 new amiibos.
Yes.
We're getting a boy dragon rider, we're getting a girl dragon rider, and we're getting a kitty cat. I can't remember the freaking flipping thing's name.
This was going to happen. That's why I write down most of the stuff we talk about, but I did not write down this.
That's true.
Jason did not give me a full rundown. So.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yes, but
we have 3 new amiibos.
3 new amiibo, and this is again, besides Shovel Knight, it's a third party,
It's a third party. It's Capcom.
which is exciting.
So there's a few things.
Yes.
So on these dragons, there is, like I said before, there's a boy and a girl that are essentially riding on top. I think they're just called male and female.
Yeah.
Apparently, though, and this is something I just found out, and we don't even have on our website at the moment.
Yeah.
If you translate the Japanese site, apparently you can take the riders off and swap characters.
Oh, that's
like from
really
dragon
cool.
to dragon.
Yeah. Now, something you and I were talking about, we were a little disappointed in. There's not much variation between the girl and the boy dragon.
Yeah.
The dragons that they each come with.
One looks a little angrier than the
Yeah.
other, and the other is just more like content.
And then my I guess question to you was, well, are there maybe only very few dragons within the game? And you said no, there's actually
lots,
a
yeah.
wide variety. So then we were wondering, well, why did they limit to just one type of dragon for two different amiibo?
Well, there is a Wave 2 coming out sometime in... we're thinking December, but
Yeah.
they said officially it's winter of 2016. So there is a second wave. We don't know what they're going to be. We have no idea how many there are going to be in that second wave, but we do know more are coming.
Yeah.
So it could be, who knows, more dragons.
Yes. But you have to admit, aesthetically, they do not look reminiscent of amiibo.
So they didn't at first.
Yes. Now are they kind of they have more of that feel now for you?
So, well, when I say at first, when we saw the prototypes of these, they had no bases.
Yes.
So we kind of assumed that these would have no bases.
Yeah.
But all the images that came out today showed them on a standard traditional black amiibo base.
Yeah.
With that, it made it feel a little bit more amiibo-esque to me.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily think it's like completely out of bounds with it. I think that they're crafted a little bit more... They look a little bit more plasticky compared to a lot of the amiibo.
Okay. Well, maybe to some of the amiibo. I mean, most of the amiibo to me, honestly, they look like they are plastic, or at least a good quality plastic. The thing that struck me is different with these new amiibo is that the amount of detail on the dragons that stood out to me. Plus,
They're more expensive too.
Yeah, exactly, for good reason too. I think the amount of detail and they look like sizable figures.
Yeah.
So, be interesting to see what they look like in person.
So I know that the feline is going to be the standard price of an amiibo.
Yeah.
The dragons are going to be a little bit more expensive, about $4 more, so about $16.
Okay.
So it's not crazy.
No, not too crazy. I wonder what it's going to be with importing prices.
No idea.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm thinking this is going to speed the process along is because, again, I've said it before, the world's getting smaller with the internet, and if people want these amiibo, and they're going to want to, they can get them on Amazon Japan. They ship to the US now for most things. Amiami, Play Asia, Nin Game, even Amazon US gets imports, and you can just buy them directly through the US Amazon before they even hit the stores here. So I'd think that Capcom would want to capitalize a bit on these amiibo, because the amiibo craze is still, it's not as crazy as it was, but they still sell.
Yes.
They really do.
They do.
So I'm guessing that they're going to try to push the game a little bit faster.
Okay.
Maybe E3 will see it.
Yeah.
I mean, Capcom has a booth at E3.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see that. I'm looking forward to Capcom's booth.
Me too. What about you? So,
Yeah.
have you played any of the Monster Hunter games?
I played the Monster Hunter, I believe, 4 demo.
Okay, just the demo?
Yes, I played
Not
the
for
demo.
you?
It was not for me. I played through the entire demo.
Yeah.
I'd like to give, as soon as I'm given a demo code or the opportunity to play a demo,
You'll try it.
I want to try it. I want to see, is this going to be my next big passion? And as soon as I played it, I was like, no, this is not for me. I can maybe see why some people do like it, but it didn't appeal to me. The graphics were nice, but at the time I wasn't even playing it on a new 3DS.
Oh, I gotcha.
So I might be able to appreciate it more there. But as far as the gameplay goes, I wasn't really feeling it.
That's okay.
Yeah. How about you? Did you play it?
I did. Yeah, I played Monster Hunter 3, Monster Hunter 4.
Yep.
Honestly, though, I think this game is going to be a little bit more up your alley.
Yeah.
They're trying to
the
make
style is different.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah.
They're making an anime in Japan. They are kind of going all out with this to try to make it. It reminds me of like Pokemon, and it reminds me of Yokai Watch.
Yokai, I was going to say.
So essentially what they're doing with those two franchises, I think they're trying to make like this big, gigantic franchise out of Monster Hunter. So
okay, well, I'd like to see.
It's cutesy.
I'd like to see a different style. I like how you're like you'll like this. It's cutesy.
It's cutesy.
It's cutesy.
It's totally
true.
you.
I like cutesy things. And luckily, when I was talking with our team earlier, a few of them were speaking up about how they prefer this newer style. Over it. So I'm not alone. I'm not alone with
You're
that.
not alone.
Yeah.
So we have that coming out. It's coming out in October in Japan, so get your importing finger ready. Boop.
Because there's only
Pre-order.
one finger for importing.
Yeah, it's just the mouse. Click. One click. Good to go.
Good to go.
Because I'll be doing that, I know. And, by the way, I should mention there's a diorama coming out, too.
Yes, yeah.
So it looks like more of a hard plastic diorama compared to the ones that we've seen so far from Nintendo. This one looks a lot smaller than the other amiibo dioramas, though.
Interesting. It didn't say anything about the dimensions?
It probably did.
Someone did not read it over.
It's in Japanese.
Oh, so there's no such thing as a translate button?
It was all embedded in the photo.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
Okay. I'll let this slide.
But I do have two eyes, so I can see what it looks like.
Okay.
It's definitely smaller than the amiibo dioramas.
Yeah.
It looks like it's only designed to have like one dragon rider on it.
Oh.
So it looks like that's all it is.
Interesting.
But it is hard plastic. It looks like
Yes.
it's a harder plastic.
Okay.
There's some transparent pieces too.
I'm looking forward to getting hands-on experience with this because I'd like to compare it to all of our other dioramas.
Yeah.
So looking forward to this.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So we'll be importing that. The second it goes up, like on Play Asia or Amiami, Amazon Japan, you'll be the first people to know because we'll be putting it right on Amiibo News.
Absolutely.
Get your importing finger ready. Boop. Boop. There you go. So that's Monster Hunter Stories. If you want to know more, there's so much information about this.
Yeah.
You can find it on our website. We've completely translated all of the news that we had today from this story.
Yes.
So you can check it out on NintendoInquirer.com.
Yep.
There you go.
Have fun, guys.
So what else do we have? We have a couple other things, actually.
Yes.
We obviously have the Pokemon story, but I want to save that to last.
Okay. I want to make sure that we get it out there that, yes, we are going to talk about Pokemon.
We'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Hold on, folks.
Hold on.
So we do have something that's semi-Pokemon related, though. We can talk about that next.
Yes.
That is E3 2016. We essentially knew beforehand that Nintendo said that Zelda is going to be the only game playable on the show floor.
Yes.
And that was pretty much the only game they were bringing with them to E3. But now, fast forward till today, and we find out that Pokemon Go and Pokemon Sun and Moon are going to be making an appearance at E3 on both day 1 and day 2 of the Treehouse event.
Thank you, Nintendo. Now, we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
Was this a decision that Nintendo had all along, or was this a decision that was made more recently?
They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
I think
they're getting
that-
the hype train ready.
I think so too. I think it's kind of funny how, they announced that Zelda, it's going to be the only game, and this is what you have to look forward to
Yeah.
for E3, and everyone is complaining and just expressing such disappointment everywhere online. And then Nintendo is just behind the curtain going, "Oh gosh, this is hilarious." Wait till they hear that we are going to actually have more to talk about, more for them to see.
Very true.
Yes.
So from 9 o'clock on, what is that, not the 24th, excuse me. What day does E3 start, for God's sakes? Is that the 14th?
14th.
So the 14th.
Yes.
That's when the Treehouse event starts. It's going to kick off with Zelda. I'm hoping we're going to get some new information. Obviously, the title of the game, I'm sure we're going to get.
Yep.
And that's, by the way, the sound of an amazing fire truck that is right outside the window.
Yes. Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Yes. You wouldn't believe the number of times every day.
It's amazing.
Yes.
So, no, I think it's gone. So, yes, starting on the 14th, that's when we're going to get some of that information.
Yeah.
Zelda kicks off first.
Yes.
And then later that day, we get a Pokemon Sun and Moon panel. And we're going to get new information from serious creators of Sun and Moon.
Yep.
And then into day 2 is when we're going to get into Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what they're going to cover there.
No. But Jason and I will be on the E3 floor along with some of our team members,
Yep.
and we are getting the news out to you as soon as possible. So definitely stay tuned to NintendoInquirer.com and Nintendo INQ on Twitter.
So yay or nay on this? So it sounded like before you're pretty happy that we're going to start seeing other games shown off at E3. Other people were saying, you know what, Zelda's amazing. It totally deserves to have the entire show dedicated to it. Are you pretty happy they're breaking it up?
Oh, yeah. I think that we need more than one game to kind of preview at something as major as E3.
Well, that makes sense.
Sure, it's nice to... It's a nice idea to highlight one game.
Yeah.
But you have such an amazing amount of floor space to utilize. Why would you...
Why are we not utilizing the back of this couch? This is amazing.
Because
so comfortable.
It is comfortable.
My back was killing me sitting up like that.
But the view is not as complimentary, which
Hi,
is
folks.
why I sit forward, and this is why I urge you to sit forward.
My back's killing me. Folks, it hurts.
Exercise, man.
Oh, I'm
I know
exercising.
Are you really?
I am.
I don't know.
I totally am. I might sound a little bit further away.
Yeah,
so I'm just going to bring the mic a little bit closer.
You sit.
This is great.
You sit forward a little bit.
Now we're in newscast mode, folks. My back, it hurts. Amiibo
This
Jason's
is all
tired.
arranged very specifically. I spend a long time organizing this.
Oh, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm excited too.
Yeah.
I am obviously a big Zelda fan. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, I'm a big Pokemon fan. I think that we needed more information. And I do still think Nintendo is going to be announcing other games that are going to be playable at E3 too.
Yeah.
At least I think so.
I don't even know. I was in the middle of talking. I have no idea what I was saying, though.
Because I moved back? That distracted you?
Yeah, and then you started going off on a tangent about
A tangent?
it. Yes.
It's a couch. The couch is for sitting.
Let's move on.
What are we moving on
Let's
to?
move on.
So, if you could have your dream game.
Yes.
See, look, she made me, pull forward, which is sad. So, if you had, your one wish of another game that Nintendo would, say, hey, guess what?
Yeah.
We're going to show this off on the Treehouse event. What would it be? And it can't be Mother 3.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
I know, it's just...
That's what I was going to say.
It's predictable at this point.
It is predictable. Oh, I know. Well, it's something very minor, but I would still like a preview of this. The Animal Crossing mobile game.
Very true.
Yes, I would like to see a preview of that. As I've stated many times before, I'm not a mobile game person.
Yeah.
I use my phone for practical reasons. I do not use it for a lot of fun. I use it for work, and I use
No
it for
fun.
Sorry, and I use it for photography. And
Which is fun for you.
It is. That's a hobby for me, but I also use it for a lot of work-related reasons. I really don't use my phone to game a lot. Miitomo was nice. I haven't been going on it as much. Animal Crossing, maybe it could change my mind, but honestly, I'd rather much see Animal Crossing on my 3DS over any other type of system.
Makes sense. I mean, we are getting Pokemon Go, so maybe it's going to make sense for us to see Animal Crossing. Maybe we'll even see some Fire Emblem Mobile, too.
True.
Could happen.
I'm eager to see what Animal Crossing is going to be like on the mobile device. I want to see what it's going to offer a big fan, longtime fan like me.
I mean, both titles are supposed to be coming out this year.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I've heard.
Yes.
So
word on the street.
That's probably what's going to happen. I mean, maybe E3 is the time.
Yes.
I think Tokyo Game Show is too far.
Yeah, so, I think so too. I think, that's much farther down in the year, so.
But I have to point this out again. Miitomo was a massive disappointment for me. It was fun for like a week, and then everybody dropped off.
It wasn't the concept of the game, it was the lack of expansion in the game. That's what it was. We have this wonderful article up on NintendoInquirer.com by one of our new writers, Matthew. And he did a great job making 3 suggestions about what Nintendo could do to keep people coming back and to keep people wanting more from Miitomo. So I highly recommend going and checking out that article because I remember as I read it for the first time, I found myself nodding along the entire time because he made some great suggestions and points. And these aren't completely out there suggestions. These are very practical and realistic suggestions to make. Something that a company like Nintendo, a well-established company like Nintendo, is well aware of, and I'm sure that it knows what it's doing. I think it just wanted to get its kind of like feet wet in the whole app world, and then maybe fully jump in once it has Pokemon Go and Animal Crossing ready.
I think Pokemon Go, is going to be completely separate, because I know Niantic, I hope I'm saying that right, I know they're taking the reins on that one.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo just wanted to get people signed up for it, and they did. They got a lot of people signed up for it. I mean, the numbers were pretty staggering, how many people they got into this game.
Yeah.
Something as simple as like a mini game, something as simple as like, hey, my friend's on and I'm on, a game of tic-tac-toe maybe? Maybe not tic-tac-toe, but something.
Yeah. Just
anything that could be considered like a multiplayer experience, something that would actually get me interacting like in real time with somebody and not just over these ridiculous questions. Because I think maybe they threw all the questions out right away.
Yeah.
And now, the questions that they ask me in Miitomo are pretty nuts.
Yeah.
So
I agree. So we'll see where it goes from here. But yes, if I could see any game on the floor, I would love to see Animal Crossing. How about you? What is another game that you would like to see?
Paper Mario Color Splash would be my choice for a game that I would like to see playable on the show floor. Paper Mario Color Splash is gearing up to be one of the biggest games in Nintendo's lineup for 2016 because it's probably one of the only games in Nintendo's lineup for 2016. Paper Mario Color Splash coming to Wii U sometime this year, unless the Change.org petition goes through and Nintendo cancels it.
I was really hoping that at that very moment you were going to go on one of your Paper Mario Color Splash tangents because it's happened now, I think, 2 or 3 times. And that's why I didn't want to say anything because I thought, it's going to start.
Maybe.
But you didn't really do it this
No,
time.
because you know what? I'm going to level with you folks.
Oh, please.
Paper Mario Color Splash doesn't look terrible. It's not like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
I'll get it. I'll play it. I'll review it. It'll be fun.
Oh, it's so kind of you.
I know. I'm such a nice guy.
Oh, Amiibo Jason.
But yeah, it's Paper Mario Color Splash. I kind of would imagine would have been there. And I think they're going to have something at the Treehouse. And I don't know, maybe a companion app for the 3DS. Maybe a companion game for Zelda U is coming to 3DS. And I'm going to put money on it now. And you can prove me wrong in a week and a half, or you can say, Amiibo Jason was right. I knew it.
That's what you're hoping for.
We're going to see not Animal Crossing. We're going to see the Legend of Zelda Amiibo announced pretty much right away at the Treehouse event. They're going to be on display on the show floor at E3. Nintendo is not going to allow that not to happen.
Ideally, first 2 questions.
Yes.
Answer this one and don't elaborate after I
Got
ask
it.
it. How many Amiibo in the Zelda line would you ideally like to see?
Between 4 and 6.
Okay. First 4 that come to mind that you think are absolutely necessary for a Zelda line.
Zelda, Link, Epona, and Ganondorf.
Okay.
Or whoever the frickin' villain's going to be in this game.
I'll say we have a Ganondorf already, and we have some other ones. So how about new characters? Or what are some new ones that you would like to see?
I don't know. Carlos? I don't know who's going to be in this game.
I don't know. I was like, if they brought characters back, beloved characters.
The Legend of Carlos. Carlos is a support character in Zelda U.
Okay.
He is a very nice guy. He
Good to know.
brushes the horses at the corral.
Wow.
He's a nice guy.
I thought, a lot of people, and you're a huge Zelda fan.
I'm a huge, but
Yes,
I know
figured-
next to nothing about what's coming.
Okay. Well, and maybe not what's coming, but, think about dreams, stuff that you would love to see, like past favorite characters re-envisioned in a new Zelda game, That's what I was
I like Fi, or Fi.
Yeah.
I think the official name is Fi.
Okay.
I do like her a lot. I think a lot of people hated Fi. I think Fi was a very unique character for being like more robotic.
Yeah.
And still having like that annoying Navi feel, but at the same time she was very genuine.
Yeah.
I liked her a lot, but I can't imagine any circumstance where she would make an appearance.
Yeah.
Besides that, honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing new characters.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing new enemies. So.
Okay. Sounds good. Oh, that's a great answer. All you could have said was, "Oh, I'm hoping for new characters," and I would have been like, awesome.
Carlos Amiibo 2017.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm still going to put my money on we're going to see a Zelda line of Amiibo.
Yeah.
I would guess we're going to see a Pokemon line of Amiibo this year. I think Nintendo likes money still. I could be wrong.
Cards. This is going to be Amiibo cards. It has to be Amiibo cards. I always say it's the next step for Amiibo. And we saw it with Animal Crossing, that series, Series 4 coming out. That's going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
So it's only natural for it to move on to something like Pokemon.
And I'm sure we'll see new 3DS limited edition Pokemon systems too. So
I'm hoping for that.
it's going to happen. They're not going to let that cash cow run away.
I've been so disappointed within the last, I would say, year and a half with the lack of limited editions that we've seen.
X and Y had one.
I'm not saying none have been out, but I'm saying that I guess I was spoiled for about 5 or 6 years with the 3DS systems that came out, and we got limited edition and special edition after special edition coming out, and people. At first, it was strange for people to have more than one limited edition console. And, they were kind of criticized for that from friends and family.
Yeah.
Now it's become kind of the norm.
I like it. I mean, I have more limited edition new 3DSs than I think anybody I know.
Yeah.
I'm missing one.
Yeah.
And I'm working on getting it.
Except, oh man, I'm a big YouTube watcher when it comes to unboxing videos and collection videos.
Does somebody have me beat?
Oh, somebody has you beat in a very different type of way. I remember watched this one video. This person had an entire wardrobe, a whole wardrobe filled with in-box, never removed from box systems of all Pikachus, all Animal Crossing New Leafs, all A Link Between World.
Wait, were they hoarding them?
Yes.
In hopes of selling them?
There was, people asked, and they said they didn't have a reason, but they just wanted them.
Sounds OCD.
And I was like, that's interesting. Now, hey, everybody has their reasons. If that's the way that they're collecting, that's the way they're collecting. But I was kind of fascinated by that. But it was like 10 Pikachu 3DSs.
I had 2 Pikachu. That was at my worst. I had one in box and one that I wanted to keep sealed. And then I decided, I don't need this. And I just sold it to a friend. So...
I love talking about limited editions. I couldn't help myself. I had to.
We could do that. We could do an entire podcast.
I would gladly do that.
So now we can finally move on to our Pokemon topic.
Yes, thank you.
So we do have new Pokemon Sun and Moon information. I'm not even going to try to say the names of the legendaries because I'm going to butcher them. But the line is named.
I believe it's called Solgaleo.
Solgaleo.
Because Sol means sun anyway. And when I see Galileo, I think of Galileo.
Oh,
but
fancy.
I don't know if that is linked or not. But I would imagine that Solgaleo would be linked to the sun, and then Galileo, who studied, the star system.
So we have that one. So he is like this big lion dude.
Yeah.
Lion dude. Whatever.
Lion dude.
We know he's huge, and we now have a lot more information on this legendary Pokemon. I believe they said in his official bio he's the devourer of the sun.
Wow, that's powerful. Very powerful.
You think you would get full? It's a big sun.
That's your comment on it.
I don't have anything on that. And then we have
Lunala.
who is the big bat. Yeah. That's the devourer of the moon.
Yes. And okay, so you have Luna, which means moon. And whenever I hear Nala, I think of the lion from the Lion King.
Oh, that's cute.
I couldn't help it. But believe it or not, though, Lunala is more of a bat-type creature.
Yeah.
It's not a lion creature.
So those are our 2 legendary Pokemons. They finally have names. Even though I think they had names before because somebody ended up finding information through like a trademark.
Yeah.
But that being said, I'd love to, if you're watching the video cast, to show you the video of them in action. But Nintendo would stamp me with the copyright strike.
Totally would.
I've had to pull so many of them down and re-upload them, so I'm not even going to bother this time.
We can do images.
Yeah,
though.
I'll throw some images up there, some hand-drawn images of
Hand-drawn.
these two. But we had more than just that. So we obviously that's the big news that
Yeah.
we have names and we have abilities from these two Pokemon. Before we get into the other news, though, between the two, what's your favorite?
Oh, Lunala. For
Really?
Sure. Oh yeah, Lunala for sure.
Because you're dark and mysterious, aren't you?
I am dark and mysterious. Darker skin, darker hair. Okay, besides the obvious. But no, I've always been drawn more to the moon. I find it more fascinating. It's, like you said, a little bit more mysterious. I do love the idea of the sun, but there's something very haunting about the moon. And also, when I saw the legendary side by side for the very first time a couple weeks ago, I was instantly drawn to the cover art and the legendary from Pokemon Moon.
Cool.
Which is, I go with my gut, and that's what it is.
It's a good choice.
Yeah. How about you?
Solgaleo.
Solgaleo.
Is that it?
Solgaleo.
Solgaleo?
I believe.
Yeah, that's the worst part too when they announce these names.
Yeah.
And nobody has any idea how to pronounce them like during the first couple days. But that's the best I got. I think it's cool. I think it's this really cool lion psychic type, which I think is really awesome. Yeah. So I'm a fan. I think it's really neat.
I can see it. Both have their virtues.
They do both have their virtues. Very true.
We have a poll up, don't we, on Nintendo Inquirer?
We do. It's like neck and neck
Twitter.
at the moment.
It is, which I find kind of fascinating because usually people lean way more towards one. Kind of like when we threw up the poll for the starters.
Poplio just got none of the love, though.
No, he didn't. But Rowlet totally dominated those polls.
Litten was closer. For sure.
Yes.
I think if we got rid of Poplio, that we would have seen it a lot closer.
Yeah.
But Lunala was actually winning the last time I looked. Okay. It was like 52%. So it was super, super close.
Very close.
So besides that, we got some other information. We do have information on the professor's name.
Yes.
And what was that name?
Kukui.
Kukui.
Yeah.
After the Kukui tree. Surprise, surprise. A Pokemon professor is named after a tree.
What?
The Kukui tree is the state tree of Hawaii.
Yes.
So it makes perfect sense that that's the professor's name.
It's a sweet kind of like homage to Hawaii.
And he looks like a super nice guy.
He does look like a super nice guy.
He sure does. I'm sure he's going to be giving our new, protagonists.
Yes.
I'm sure he's going to give them lots of good advice about, how to find all these Pokemon out in this brand new Hawaiian wonderland. They did mention too, there was a kind of like a screenshot of Kukui talking to the little boy trainer. Yeah. Saying that this new region is like chock full of rare Pokemon.
Ooh.
So they said that it's pretty much nothing but rare Pokemon. So whatever that means.
Fascinating.
All I know is I've seen a Gengar. And I think I've seen I can't even pronounce the other one. We've seen a Gengar. I'll give you that.
And there's another one.
There's some other ones in there.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of new Pokemon too. Yeah. I'm wondering when that news is going to start trickling out. Yeah. So we already know from the last trailer that we saw. Mm-hmm. We saw this little doggy pupper.
Yes.
Looking little pupper.
That's Jason's new thing, calling any dogs puppers. We were driving the other day. And this car was behind us. He goes, "Oh, look at that pupper in that seat."
Little pupper.
It's so cute.
So we saw this little pupper in the last trailer.
Yes.
We have no idea what it is yet.
Which I still think that it reminded me a little bit of a fawn or a deer type creature too. Yeah. It could be a mix of a pupper and...
It's a pupper deer.
A pupper deer. Oh, that's cute.
That sounds like a real thing.
That's so cute.
Look at the pupper deer.
Oh.
Hello, little pupper deer.
Hi, pupper deer.
So we also know some new information about the Pokedex too.
Yes.
So there's a Rotom that's in the Pokedex, which is a Pokemon. If you guys don't know, it's a Pokemon made of electricity. So he's like a little Pokemon that kind of talks to you via your Pokedex, which is really kind of neat.
Is it Rotom or Rotom? I wasn't sure.
It might be Rotom because Rotom sounds a little bit too like something else. So
okay. Sorry.
So it's a possibility. So we'll just call it Rotom for the time being.
This is the name that I thought of.
It doesn't surprise me. So
no, the good.
I mean, both names have their virtues, so it's totally fine. So we also know that. So we didn't get like a massive amount of information this morning. It was like a 2-minute trailer, but fans picked it apart. They tried to find Easter eggs. Somebody found that there's this woman like sunbathing in this little bikini.
Oh no!
Like for half a second in the trailer, and somebody
Yeah.
like screenshotted
Of course
it.
they
It's
did.
floating around
Of course
Twitter.
they did. Oh, we cannot forget that the new professor has an assistant, and her name is Lily.
So what does she do?
I don't know. But I want to mention that because we mentioned in our article, and people
Yeah.
were talking about both the professor and the assistant today. And I think it's worth mentioning that a character named Lily is also mentioned. Hey, if we're talking about a woman in a bathing suit
Yeah, I guess
in there, we
That
might
makes
as
sense.
well mention the assistant, who actually has a name.
She looks smug. And I'm guessing she's going to have like more of a Gary Oak type of role in this.
Okay.
Maybe a good cop, bad cop kind of thing. Because everything I've seen so far makes her look like she's like a little annoyed.
Okay.
So I'm guessing she's going to be a little bit of a handful in this game.
Kind of funny how we can gather all this information from just very few short snippets
Yeah.
of previews.
We could be completely wrong too.
We could be.
It's a possibility.
Very big possibility.
So that's what we know so far.
Yep.
We also know that you can like manage your Pokedex and add Pokemon to your Pokedex via QR code. Nothing too fancy.
No.
But it's still at the same time too. It's kind of innovative.
Yeah, it is.
And just they need to announce some Amiibo support. I'm really waiting
You're
for that to
Amiibo
happen.
Jason. Of course you want to hear Amiibo support.
Of course I do.
Of course you do.
Pokemon Amiibo need to happen, and not just the Smash Brothers one.
Yeah.
We need and the Shadow Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Even though I still think it's bizarre that the Shadow Mewtwo card came with Pokken Tournament, and we just have no other information about any other Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
So if they do Pokemon Amiibo, I think it's going to be a combination of cards and figures.
Okay. Yeah,
I think we're going to see figures of the big ones, cards of the smaller ones, and Nintendo's going to be they're going to run out of like time
Yeah.
to count all their money.
Hey, we saw the same thing with the Animal Crossing. We
Yeah.
have figures and cards released right alongside each other.
And Animal Crossing has a big following, but nowhere near the Pokemon level of following.
No, and you know, Pokemon is going to sell no matter what. Animal Crossing, it was so sad to see them not sell as much.
So I saw Animal Crossing Amiibo on sale for as little as 89 cents a piece.
Oh, that's heartbreaking. Now, really, the only thing that I can imagine being completely responsible for that 100% is just that they were paired with the wrong game.
Could be.
They were paired with Amiibo Festival.
Which sucked, yeah.
They should have never been paired with that. Now, it was also, they all were also paired with Happy Home Designer.
They were.
But I think that in order for them to really sell, they should have been paired with a
full-fledged game.
Full-fledged game. Oh, an Animal Crossing game with a normal formula that we're used to seeing.
Agree.
Yes.
But it's their fault for marketing it very poorly.
Yes.
I still
Agreed. I agree.
I still weep for Amiibo Festival.
Oh, that's so sad. I know.
If they
a
would've
lot
put-
of people do.
If they would have put some fun mini games in there, it could have been a blast.
It could have been.
It really could have been a blast.
The sad part was, I remember several people said all over on forums and everything that some of the smaller games within the bigger game overshadowed the main game.
Yeah.
They were more fun, and there was something about it that offered a bit more of an experience.
Yeah, there was a island survival game,
Yes, yeah.
which apparently
We played
gets
that.
but apparently gets super hard.
Okay.
Like the further you get into it,
Yeah.
apparently it gets like incredibly challenging. So a lot of people said that game was a blast.
Yeah.
So
To see something like that could have been kind of like been more interesting than what we were given.
yeah, but to unlock it, you have to play through the crappy board game like 5 times.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who wants to do that?
I don't know about
Nobody wants
that.
to do
That's
that.
a lot of time. That's a lot of time.
Too many times.
Yeah.
But we are finally getting to the end of the Animal Crossing series. I love how I moved from Pokemon to Animal Crossing, but whatever. So we're finally getting to the end of the Animal Crossing
Yeah.
series too. So we have the last figure coming out, which is Summer Puppy, Summer Pupper,
Also known as Summer Isabel.
Summer Isabel,
Yeah.
little Summer Pupper. And then we have Series 4 of the Amiibo cards finally coming out. And then that's, thank God, going to be the end of it. Hopefully. I do not want to collect any more of those cards.
Yeah, I'm happy and I'm satisfied with four series. I'm good with that. So if Nintendo decided to stop there, I'd be completely happy. That's 400 Amiibo cards.
Honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to go crazy with Series 4.
Yeah.
Series 3 was just... Series 1 I was obsessed with.
Yeah.
Series 2 I was a little bit less obsessed with, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
Series 3 I started to lose interest about collecting all the cards.
I plan to over time. I'm definitely going to the Animal Crossing collector. I mean, you know how crazy I get over Animal Crossing.
That's
items. I just don't feel compelled to get them all at once especially because they're going to be more expensive right up front. So that's why even with the first, we have complete Series 1. But when it comes to Series 2 and 3...
Two's done.
Done? Okay, so...
Three's not done.
3 is the one that we don't have finished.
We're missing 2 cards.
I don't mind waiting until... I could probably just easily find those and put a call out on Twitter to see who has them.
Yeah.
I'll happily
eBay,
trade them. Yeah.
anything.
So, I mean, I don't mind waiting.
What?
Nothing.
I had to do one of those.
Okay. It was completely distracting.
Okay, sorry.
No, not in a bad way.
Our audio podcast listeners are going to be like, what happened?
What happened?
I took my hands and I put them through my hair.
And then you paused and you looked at me and I was like, oh.
I paused because you paused.
Okay, it was just a natural pause, I guess.
All right, continue.
I'm done.
You're done.
I'm done.
You stopped mid-sentence.
I don't think I did.
You did.
Sorry. Okay.
So Series 4 is coming out. I'm not that excited. Deal with it.
Oh, that's fine. I'll have all the excitement.
I'm sure you will.
I love talking about this stuff, so.
So, anyway, Pokemon Sun and Moon comes out in November. Get ready. It's going to be a blast. Yeah, I mean, the announcement was cool. It was tiny. However, I think we're going to get a lot more in the coming months.
Yeah, I agree.
At E3. We're like a week and a half away.
You know what? It was such a small announcement today with all the information they gave us, but it was a lot of information.
Yeah.
It was a lot of tiny pieces that we had to kind of piece together. But all in all, we've gotten a lot of information from the very few pieces of footage that Nintendo's given us.
Yeah.
Or even the information that we've gotten from Korokoro, the magazine in Japan. So I feel like with every new small video that we get or piece of news we get from Korokoro, it tends to kind of expand on everything we know. So
they are very slowly moving the hype train. The hype train is just getting steam, and I'm guessing again there's not a lot of games coming out in 2016 for Nintendo fans, which is sad in its own right, except for Paper Mario Color Splash. Again, it's coming out later this year.
There it is again.
But they're gonna need to milk this son of a gun for everything it's worth.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Either way, stay tuned. We're a week and a half away from E3. I think the next podcast we're gonna be doing. Well, we might do one before E3.
I think
I'm sure we will.
Probably get one in before E3.
I'm going to try... I've been talking with the Toys for Games cast.
Yes.
By the way, which was like grilling me on their podcast.
They were not grilling you.
Oh, there was even more. There was more.
I'm not...
How dare you?
I'm honestly not that concerned. I love Josh.
Toys for Games.
I love Greer. And they mean well.
They talk about me on their podcast more than
We
they talk
talk
about anything
about
else. How
them.
dare you, Toys for Games?
We talk about
You're on
them
blast.
all the time. We message them.
They know I love
I
them.
harass them when I watch their newscasts, live streams.
I'm going to clear the air on here, though, real quick.
Yeah.
On their newscast, they wanted to know, on their podcast, we have the newscast.
We have the newscast.
On their podcast, they wanted to know why the Amiibo News account decided to post an image of the Skylanders. And the reason we did is because the other Skylanders starter packs last gen had Amiibo. We were simply pointing out that these do not have Amiibo. That's it. No controversy. We're not going Skylander. You can keep your Happy Meal toys. We got plenty of Flamin' Yawn over here. You can have your little hamburger and little apple pouch and your little Happy Meal toy. You can keep them on your side.
Josh and Greer's mission is to ruffle your feathers.
Oh, they ruffled them.
Mission accomplished. All they want is they want you to retaliate, and you just did.
I'm just saying, Happy Meal toys.
Good job, Josh and
However,
Greer.
Disney Infinity,
Hats off.
those were the superior figures, but those are gone too.
Yeah.
So it's sad. We got Amiibo to fill that void though.
Yes, we do.
We still got that. Let's move into our final segment of the day, which is the Nintendo News Speed Round.
Yes, which I missed last time.
We did miss it.
Yeah, we didn't get a speed round last time, so I'm very happy to know that it's back this time.
So I actually have a bunch of these questions ready to go.
Ooh.
But before we go into it, while I get these pulled up, do you want to explain what the Nintendo News Speed Round is?
Yes. So the Nintendo News Speed Round is basically just a session where Jason and I answer questions that people have been asking us on Twitter. And we don't get around to every single question, but we hop around with the whole page that we receive.
Yep.
And we try to answer the questions as quickly as possible, but as history has gone, we tend to take a lot longer answering questions because we get very interested in what these people want to know. So
Very true.
We tend to go on and on.
We'll try to get through as many as we can,
We
though.
will try.
So here we have Artistic Doodle. We love you, by the way.
We do love you.
With Splatoon dioramas announced for August, what themed dioramas would you like to see for Holiday 2016? I'm going to say Paper Mario Color Splash.
Of course you
I think
would.
there's plenty of room for a Paper Mario Color Splash diorama.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really, and even though it's been released for some time, I really want to see a Yoshi's Woolly World diorama. All the dioramas that we have so far, and we have 3 of them, the Animal Crossing one, Super Smash one, and Kirby one, they're extremely colorful, and I think Yoshi's Woolly World would fit right in with that. And I think that Nintendo could have even more fun because of the Yarn Yoshi amiibo.
Oh, yeah.
It's not your classic base with the circle, so I think it could have a lot more fun with different pieces that could come with little extras and little cutouts. So that's the first game that came to mind as soon as I saw the Animal Crossing one in person.
I agree. I don't think it's going to happen just because of how far out it is.
I agree. I don't think it is either. Then again, Super Smash has been out for a long time too, but Super Smash I know has a much bigger following.
Bit more iconic.
Yeah, so I can understand why they would want a diorama of that over Yoshi's Woolly World, but my dream one right now is Yoshi's Woolly World.
Possibly a Pokemon one too.
Yeah.
I think that's a kind of an interesting option. I mean, we are seeing an unofficial Monster Hunter one. It's not unofficial, it's just not Nintendo making it. Capcom is, so I love how they're jumping on that bandwagon.
I know.
So, here we go. This one is from Jezra.
Okay.
How do you think the bases would look? I have no idea what this question is asking. How do you think the bases would look, and how do you think the support for the future game?
I don't know what that.
Sorry, we have no idea what that means. All right, let's move on to Joe. All right. Though we all know what you have no choice but to buy all the amiibo, do you actually like Monster Hunter amiibo? So he's essentially saying you have to buy it because you're amiibo Jason.
Of course.
But do you like it? I do. I think they're cool. More amiibo is good for me. I love amiibo. I love to collect them. I think it's a blast.
Aesthetically, I like the designs. I like they have a bit more of that cartoonish flair to them. It's something that we've seen in a couple of other amiibo, but these have their own style to them that I find interesting. It makes them more distinguished than other amiibo.
Very true. I wonder what the packaging is going to be like.
Me too.
So we had that question too.
Yeah.
What do you think the packaging is going to be like with these amiibo? Shovel Knight was third-party manufactured.
Yeah.
And they had to stay with that classic amiibo display box.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's going to be a classic box.
I think so too.
So let's do one more real quick.
Okay, we have one more.
So we have PK Ben who asked, what is your favorite custom amiibo?
Oh, favorite custom?
Favorite custom.
Well,
all time.
Of all time, I'm gonna be biased here, and I'm gonna go with the 2 that I own.
Raincoat Digby?
Raincoat Digby. It was a gift from Jason. Yes, he commissioned Gonda Chris, the wonderful and the talented, amazing Gonda Chris, and Raincoat Digby. I've seen a lot of her work in person already, but there is something. It's very personal to me. I love Digby. I think he is adorable. And it's like I said, it's very personal. And she added the most adorable little raindrops splashing off of his coat. And that's something that I wouldn't have really thought of when it comes to Raincoat Digby. I just thought of the raincoat. And as soon as I saw that, I think you said, do you like the raindrops? And even I think Chris even asked, do you like the raindrops? And I immediately said yes.
Oh, they're great.
It's an innovative way of doing a custom, and I appreciate the thought and the time that she put into it. And my second favorite is going to be the me version that TJ made me. And I love both of ours together. But yeah, me as the me fighter, he did a fantastic job capturing my me in amiibo form. It was really well done. And the fact that if you ever seen my me, he customized even the drawing of it, so it has my red hair. Because back in the day, I had just a red hair patch in front.
Yeah. Now it's all over.
Now it's all red.
All over the
now
place.
It's all red. But he actually customized the cartoon version of my me, and then he translated that over to the amiibo too. And so I just it was very special to me. And and I love the work and the dedication from both of those artists.
For me, it's a 3-way tie.
Yeah.
The me from TJ.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. AK Shop and Gonda Chris both had absolutely amazing starter Pokemon from the Sun and Moon.
Yep.
So I am big fans of both of those.
Yep.
Gonda Chris is actually sending us these 3 starters.
I know.
It's coming soon.
Yes,
I can't wait for it.
I can't wait. I'm going to take so many photos of that thing.
But AK Shop also did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Hers was honestly absolutely cool too.
Yeah.
So I think it's a 3-way tie between those 3 amiibo.
Okay. Oh, I have to mention one more, and it is another one by Gonda Chris. Detective Pikachu.
Very cool.
I adore Detective Pikachu. Something about him that is unlike any other Pikachu that I've seen. She added such a nice artistic flair when detailing the eyes. It looks like a painting. It looks like a piece of art. She did it in a way that wasn't like it doesn't look like the eyes were stamped
Yeah.
on. They're you can tell there are little tiny brush strokes in the most talented type of way. So she did a wonderful job there.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yes. So thank you.
There
Thank
you
you
go.
to all you customizers out there for putting your creativity, time, and thought into all these amazing customs.
So there you go. That's the speed round for the day.
Yes.
But yeah, before we get going though, where can all the fine people at home find you?
They can find me at Happily Candied on Twitter, and my personal webpage, happilycandied.com, is also linked in the description. It's my sugary corner of the world, as
Hot dog.
Jason likes hearing me call it. You can find my personal photography, a lot of my collections, and just some fun talk over on my personal website.
There you go. And for me, you can find me on my personal account, which is at Amiibo Jason. If you want to find Amiibo News, that's at Amiibo News. Nintendo Inquirer is at Nintendo INQ. We have an awesome Facebook page, NintendoInquirer.com. Just search Nintendo Inquirer on Facebook, you'll find us. And then obviously NintendoInquirer.com is where we live. It's our home. We have exciting things coming. Honestly, even by the time of the next podcast, there might be some cool stuff coming from NintendoInquirer.com. At the very least, you'll have a lot of cool news from us about what's happening. So
Yes.
we're very excited about it, but
Yeah.
honestly, stay tuned. I can't say it enough. Thank you, everybody that listens and watches this podcast and supports us on Patreon, retweets our stuff, likes our stuff.
Yep.
We couldn't do this without you. We're having a complete blast, and we want to keep doing it for years to come.
We really do. So yes, from us to you, thank you so much for supporting and believing in us.
Thank you
It
much.
really means the world.
There you go. We'll be back next week with episode 8, so have a good morning or a good evening, depending on when you're listening and or watching this, and we'll see you soon.
Yep. Bye.
Bye, guys.